Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to start the foundation of a mandala for a color wheel. It's really simple if you just use your color wheel to get started. So we're going to be working with all 12 colors, the 12 hues, and I want to create at least 9 shapes within each triangle that I'm going to create, so that I can work with the pure hues of the color wheel, tints, tones, shades, and a little bit of complementary color, and working with the grayscale. To get started, I'm just going to center. I have Bristol paper that I'm working with, and it's pretty thick, so I'm going to be able to paint on this as well. I'm just going to center my color wheel, and you'll notice that there's a little hole in the middle. So I'm going to mark that spot with my pencil. And then each section has a division already. So you can use that by just making a little mark in the middle of each. Make sure you keep your mandala down, nice and sturdy. This way you have perfectly even, uniform divisions instead of trying to like calculate it and things like that. So now I have my 12 marks. And with my ruler, I'm just going to go from my center out to each mark. And I'm going to draw a little bit darker than I normally would so that you can see it, but I'd probably use a mechanical pencil for this just to keep it nice and light. And I want to go out far enough because I'm not sure how big I want to go with my mandala yet. And I'm going to use a compass to create additional circles. To start building up my shapes. So for this project, when you're building up, make sure you go to your center. I kind of got off a little bit. You want your shapes within each section to be consistent in each of them. So whatever you design in one, that's going to be consistent throughout. And we're dealing with the main colors. So that's one. For my basic design class, they have to do 2 tints, 2 shades, 2 tones, and a grayscale. So that is 8 colors right there, plus to create a little more integration, they have to take a complementary color from the opposite side of the wheel into each section. So if one section is primarily working with yellows and the tints, tones, and shades of that, they have to pull the complement of violet into that section somewhere. And it can be a tint, a tone, or a shade. Doesn't matter, or the pure color violet. That way you get a little more integration. Okay, so I have my sections. I'm going to lengthen this one just a little bit. And you can see why I would draw a little bit lighter with a mechanical pencil, because if I want to erase this, I don't want it necessarily showing up on my board afterwards. But for this purpose, I'm going to draw darker so you can see. Okay, so I have this started. I could use my color wheel to start my circle, like one circle, because mandalas, like, did I pronounce that right? Are basically built up of circles, and you can already see it. Right there you have a mandala. If I want to create more circles to start building up shape, I can use compass to do multiple size circles. To start designing. And I would say you don't really need to go much bigger than what I'm going to go right here. You don't have to go this large. You can go a little bit smaller. Okay, there's a mandala with 12 sections. So each pie shape has to have at least 9 shapes within it to address the tints, tones, shades, pure color, grayscale, and a complementary color. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm almost halfway there. So just really simple. I can break up these shapes more to create, you know, those 9 shapes. I can use things like circles. I can mark, say in this pie shape, say I go into the center or on the outside. I could break it up like this. This is just one example of many, many things that you could do. And this kind of thing, if I do it in one, I'm going to do it in all of them. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say I want to create a circle. I could create a circle. Or I could create like a wave pattern. Any shape. My students have been dealing with a lot of shape, learning about shape. They can create more shape within this. The one thing to remember is this should be the same throughout each piece. I can use some fun, you know, different kinds of shapes. I can break it up any way I want, but the thing to remember is I would do the same thing in each section, okay? Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta go one more. I could break this up. And now I have enough. One thing that's going to happen is if I repeat this exact same thing on all of them, you're going to have a very pie feeling to it. There's a really simple way to break that up, and that is breaking this edge a little bit. There's a few ways you can do that. One way is maybe doing like a circle that crosses the border. And then I would erase what's in there. Oops. I like circles. I could do that all the way through. Because the colors can shift. Basically, you're going to have, say this is yellows. I can have it shift, you know, yellow to yellow-orange. But I can have them kind of cross over too. It doesn't have to be so separate from each other. And then I might decide, man, I don't really like this so much. But I still have, so I wouldn't want that line going through there. I might keep the circle line through it. That might be an option. But I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, technically. So this is another way that you can do it. You want to do something to break up this edge. So I would repeat that same method all the way through. And then beyond that, I will go into the painting method, and I will be uploading a video on that when we get started, and I will have a complete color wheel. Thank you.